What's up, guys? This is Doctor, and welcome to another episode of the FPL Fantasy. This is going to be an exciting episode. This has been a crazy FPL week for me. I'm inside the top 100K again as I'm chasing my 10th. And all of a sudden, I rarely check, I barely check, and I discovered that I'm still in the FPL Cup in the last 256. And it's been the debate on my Twitter account. In this episode, as usual, we have two main topics and then we'll do the team reveals. We will start with Rashford replacements, and I brought you some stats because I'm doing this move this game week. Probably we're going to talk about it, and then we're going to talk about captaincy, and then we'll team reveal. But before we get into anything, as usual, I'm joined by my co host, Joe. Joe, how are you this week?
Oh, what's up? It'll be an interesting one. You're bringing stats back. Stats don't work this season because I've used them and I'm at 1 million. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see you drop out of the cup this week because of stats. So, Analytics FC tanking everybody's rank again. Thanks, guys.
Well, I never changed. I've always been a stats guy, but I stopped bringing them kind of into the videos because let's differentiate ourselves. There is a lot of kind of videos that talk about stats, XGI, and everything. I still use stats in my decision making, but when we come on videos, I try to articulate my thoughts more on the eye test kind of thing instead of stats. But I've always made my move with stats. They've been always working for me. You cannot watch every game, and we talked about like the stats versus skill versus luck and everything in previous podcasts and previous videos that we've done, and I've always found stats helpful, and they're always helpful. It's just how you use them, I guess.
Yeah, they don't work.
Well, they don't work for Joe. Joe, you have Rashford. Are you replacing him?
Yeah, probably. Probably. I mean, sounds like he's going to be out for a couple weeks. We already knew he was going to be out for 1 week before the injury, even game week 32. I think it depends on how crazy you want to be and how much fun you want to have, honestly. If you want to just collect points until Rashford gets back, make sure you bring in somebody that plays in 32. If you don't care and you already kind of have a team together, or you're fine with making a 1 week transfer, I mean, you can go crazy, bring in another Brighton midfielder, bring in, let's see, Man City. That would be fine too. They've been finally ticking a little bit and feeling like good old Man City. And I don't know. It doesn't seem like that crazy of a thing. Human Son, maybe he starts ticking again. I know he plays actually well under Ryan Mason, and I think Mason's the head coach for 1 or 2 more games. So it'll be interesting to see what Mason gets out of the team there. Yeah. I think it's just who's your favorite player, bring them in, except for Salah, because I mean, come on, it's Liverpool, guys. We've done this all season. It's Liverpool. Just stop making jokes about Salah. He gives up already. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Right, I'm gonna put the stats. So, like I mentioned that I'm gonna put the stats in, but before putting them in, I would just want to mention that this Rashford, and I tweeted about it. This Rashford thing feels weird because the official statement talked about he'll miss few games, and it's usually weeks. But the fact that they're using games and they're being kind of cryptic about it, even Ten Hag, when he was asked about Rashford, he said, "I cannot add to the statement. That's the statement." So it's Manchester United being a bit cryptic about it, and I have a gut feeling that he will all of a sudden make a sudden return. So maybe he'll be out for 2, 3 games, and all of a sudden you see him maybe even 2, 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden you see him on the field starting. So it's a bit weird. I knew that Grealish was rising in price last night, and I decided not to move because I just wanted to get more information. Because Manchester United, if you think about it, they are one of the leakiest teams in the world. You get news all of a sudden about whether Rashford is playing or no, is injured or no, because we leak news a lot, especially internal information. So the stats are on the screen. I should mention that those stats are from fantasyfootballscout.co.uk from the members area. It's a paid members area. So I should mention that I got it from there. I'm a member. So if you're interested, go and register. I should mention this is not a paid advertising. It's nothing. I just like to give credit where credit is due. We took those stats and we kind of designed them this table from Fantasy Football Scout members area.
With that being said, it could be a paid advertisement. We see you, Scout.
So having said that, I have on the screen right now the stats we talked about because I'm probably transferring out Rashford because it seems like that it's actually this way, Joe.
Yeah,
For you, I think it's this way. It's post edit, so
yeah, right here, everyone.
let's see where it's going to be in the edit. It's probably going to be this way or something. Anyways, so you have the XGI in front of you, and Martinelli in the last six has been playing crazy. But Martinelli doesn't have any doubles anymore. So if you do not have the free hit available for you and you want 11 players in game week 32, Martinelli probably is the best shout to go for. But if you are free hitting in 32, you can get Martinelli anyways. I want to add one thing. If you still do not have three Brighton players, get three Brighton players. We've been saying this for like 6 game weeks now because they have crazy doubles and they have another double to be scheduled versus Newcastle very soon. If you're free hitting in game week 32, just get third Brighton, whether it was March, whether it was on the table now you see March, but you can get Mitoma, you can get McAllister, have three Brighton. Maybe Stupinian and two midfielders probably for structure is better, as we talked about for the past 6 game weeks. But for now, it's Martinelli. And then it's followed by Grealish. A lot of people wanted to go for Grealish anyways for their fifth midfielder. I had my doubts because Pep Guardiola, right? Everybody's saying, oh, Grealish started the last 7 games. With the fixture congestion, Grealish has double game weeks. He has great fixtures, but I promised myself to avoid Man City assets unless I really have to. And I guess I really have to. You will see in my team reveal. All of a sudden, he's benched. All of a sudden, you have a single game weaker rather than a double game weaker that you were hoping for. So it's a difficult situation to go for Grealish, but he's been playing insane. He's just racking up points. But for me, it's always like Pep Guardiola and his rotation, and also Grealish is the type of player who doesn't take a lot of shots. So when you sort this table by shots taken, he's third after Martinelli and March, and his XGI is third as well. And also, in the same time, when it comes to the penalty area, he's second after Martinelli. So Martinelli seems like the obvious choice. If you don't have free hit, it's Brighton. If you do have a free hit in 32, and it's Grealish kind of favorite when it comes to having a lot of doublers and singlers. I added few people that can be a punt here because Joe loves a punt and I wanted to kind of contribute to that. You have Olise, Mahrez, Sancho, and Harvey Barnes.
Yeah. I think your punts are all right. I think Mahrez can really come through and turn on. Excellent player. Sancho, who's just a natural switch. Who was the first one?
It was Martinelli, March, Grealish, Olise, Mahrez, Sancho, and Barnes.
Olise. That was the one that I was thinking about. Crystal Palace, great team under Hodgson, right? Looking stellar, looking like nothing like they played basically the last season. Much better team without Zaha in the team. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's locker room stuff. I don't know if he's just a bad person to play against on the field, trying to censor my language there, or what. But they look like a different monster when he is not on the field. Defensively, offensively, I like it. Harvey Barnes, everybody should know my feelings about him. He is a fantastic asset if XGI got us points. And that would be amazing. Because, let's be honest, Madison would be an excellent asset if chances created and big chances created got us points. Because he always plays it to Barnes, and Barnes never scores. Throw Barnes out of there. Thanks, Doc. I like the rest of it. On to the next one. Let's go to the next segment.
Captaincy is the next segment. Haaland seems like an absolute obvious choice. Are there other choices, Joe?
Oh, come on now. There's always other choices. Don't be like that, Doc. Don't be like that.
Hit me.
Well, Kane plays Bournemouth at home. Love it. Love it. Love it. I know Haaland's playing Leicester at home too. But Kane, love it. Also, Leicester have an interim manager, so maybe, they switch things up and the team makes more sense. Harvey Barnes magically can score. He actually did 5 minutes of shooting practice in practice. Oh my gosh, he knows how to do it now. I think, Tony could be interesting too, playing against Wolves. Really, I think there is a lot of the forwards up top just make sense. They have some pretty good fixtures, like the main forwards that everybody has. If you want somebody that's a little bit more through the midfield, I would say like Grealish, KDB, somebody like that you know is going to start. That would be an interesting shout. I know there's some people getting Son in. I think if you get Son in and, you know, your rank isn't like top 500,000, something like that, and you want to go a little crazy, sure, bring in Son. Throw the captaincy on him. What's it going to hurt? Like, it'll be an interesting game to watch then for you, for sure. And then if you want to get real crazy with captaincy, real crazy, go and captain Mitoma. He plays Chelsea. I do not think highly of Chelsea. Chelsea let goals in. Yes, Chelsea score, but they score one. Nothing to be afraid of there. Their defense is falling apart. Interesting shout. They're not the team they used to be. Give it a thought. Give it a thought. There you go, Doc.
Right. I want to say something and I want to look at Joe's face directly when I say it, but I want to add one more name, Joe, and it's the Egyptian King Salah.
We already talked about this. It's Liverpool. Like, Liverpool doesn't do anything. Like, yes, Salah missed a PK, but, you know, it's fine. It's fine. He's okay. He's not as good as he used to be. It's fine. He'll leave the league in like 2 years. Just give it up, guys. Give it up.
Well, for me, Haaland is the automatic captain, followed by Harry Kane very closely. So if you're not captaining Haaland, Kane will be a great shout. I think a great differential would be Bruno Fernandes. Because now that Casemiro is back, Eriksen is back, Bruno will play much more forward, hopefully, because I own him. And they're playing Nottingham Forest, who are leaking goals, so there's penalty possibilities as well, penalties, free kicks possibilities as well, with Rashford out, so possibly he might take some free kicks. So I think Bruno is a great game week to have this game week, and also Salah. So my 4 shouts would be Haaland, Kane, probably Salah, and then Bruno.
Okay. I forgive you. You said probably Salah, so... You know, I'm wearing off. I'm wearing off.
Absolutely. So let's move on to our teams for the next segment. We will start with Joe's team. Joe, take us away.
Look at this beautiful son of a gun, right? I haven't made any transfers yet. I got 63 with a -4, so brought me down to 59. Very small rank increase all the way up at the top of the mountain. There's 2 things I want to do, really. I have 2 transfers I want to make. Doc will hate them. That's why we're here, right? I want to take out Rashford and bring in KDB. I think he is finally feeling like KDB that we have known in the past. He's getting returns, getting into spaces, playing through balls, doing the crazy assist, hitting it if he needs to. Love to see it. So KDB for Rashford seems all right. And then to be able to fund that move, I am going to kind of make a move that I've needed to make for the last X amount of game weeks. It's not Emerson Royale. It's taking out Ben Mee. So I'm going to take out Ben Mee. Doc, who do you think I'm bringing in?
Pedro Porro.
Yeah, let's go. Pedro Porro.
I know you well enough.
Yeah, good fixture. You know, the games for the most part through the end of the season, they're fine. But I don't mind putting him in. He's doing amazing. I think he's like, when I was looking at like the last like 3 or 4 game weeks, I think he was like number 4 in shots on target, if I remember right. He had like 9 shots on target, or maybe 7. I don't have the numbers in front of me. That was late last night. Go do the research yourself. But no, I think he's really performing on that attacking end, and I think as we see managers come into Spurs, which hopefully they'll come into Spurs, because Spurs have a really fun to watch attack, but they've had defensive coaches. And it's such a weird thing. And like, yes, this is coming from a Spurs fan. Oh, I want more goals. I want to win. Blah blah. I no, like they actually have really fun attackers to watch, right? You have Richarlison, you have Kulu, who we know what he can do when he's got the ball at his feet. Kane and Son, that link up that they have up top, when things go right for Son, like it's one of the best in the league. Like you can't deny that. And Ryan Mason is less defensive than Conte and some of our previous managers. So I'm hoping we start to see a little bit of that pull out. Clearly something's going on because, we have defenders that are getting 9 shots. Like Spurs don't do that. Spurs don't know how to do that. So, yeah. No, those are my 2 transfers. As far as my lineup, something very similar to what I have on the screen. As you know, I forget to send Doc my team every week, so he has to just assume that I am telling the truth and everything looks good. That's my thoughts. Doc, roast me.
I won't, because I expected the Pedro Porro coming in at some point. I just have one strategic question, because that will kind of dictate my feedback to you. Are you free hitting game week 32, which is next game week?
Maybe not. Honestly, I only have I think I have 4 players that don't play. So I can use my transfer next week to take out one of those players, and I have a full 11.
Fair enough. I just wanted to mention that Pedro Porro might have one of the best fixtures in this game week. But then, if you look at the ticker, it's followed by Newcastle away, Man United at home, and Liverpool away. I don't see any clean sheets for Spurs for the next 3, after this Bournemouth game. So I would take that into consideration as a defender. I would be tempted to get Trent Alexander-Arnold in your position, but I know it's Liverpool and you're not a fan. So probably Pedro Porro. It's a Joe transfer. I don't blame you. It's absolutely fine. But I would be wary about this kind of fixture run, because I don't see clean sheets in them. Attacking returns, maybe, but no clean sheets.
Yeah.
KDB, fine. I see the point. If he starts, he's probably one of the best options in the game, no matter what. But you still do not have 3 Brighton. But if you're not free hitting next game week, you don't need 3 Brighton at this point. So, yeah, KDB, I see the point of it. Pedro Porro, I just would be careful with the 3 fixtures coming up.
Yeah, and I look at the Spurs fixtures and I'm like, Bournemouth, killer. Newcastle will be a tough game because it's at their place. Man United, that's at our house. It'll be a tough game, but I can't see the goals really running up because we usually play to our opponents for the most part. So if it's a good team, we play well against them. Liverpool's the tricky one because they're a bad team, but they used to be good. So we will either kill them or get killed by them. So that's a little trickier, but general thought off the get-go is play them for Bournemouth, sit them for Newcastle, think about it for United, think about it for Liverpool, play them out.
Fair enough. And I also would consider playing Zinchenko ahead of Stupinian. It's a 50-50 decision for me. It's a difficult one.
Yeah.
Either way is fine, but I would probably, if I had your team, start Zinchenko over Stupinian.
Yeah, it's one of those where I think there's going to be a goal anyways. It's just like, I don't know. Flip a coin. It'll be fine. And then a little insight, something else that I've been thinking about is after game week 32, I'm actually interested in not getting Luke Shaw, but getting Martinez into my team. I think that would be an interesting little differential, something to throw in there. Yeah.
Usually the way I look at differentials, right, that you're hoping they would outscore the template pick, right?
Yeah.
Shaw is much better FPL option than Martinez because he has assist potentials, rarely a goal potential here and there, bonus potential because he takes free kicks and corners. So if Shaw's back, I think I wouldn't go for Martinez. I would just go for Shaw. The only reason I would consider Martinez over Shaw is that Shaw is coming back from an injury, so he might get injured again, and this way you have an advantage over the pack by having Martinez and getting his clean sheets odds. But it's going to be rare getting Martinez a clean sheet. Sorry, it's going to be rare that Martinez gets a goal or an assist. You're depending on clean sheets and the bonus if he gets any.
You don't think he's going to have a 5'4", 40-yard header, upper 90, top bins?
I wouldn't be surprised. He's a fighter. I love him.
Yeah.
I absolutely love him.
No. I mean, my whole thing is Shaw has to play, so I know he's coming back. Hopefully, he doesn't get injured, and I want to watch fun players. Martinez seems more fun because honestly, like, my season, and I won't say this, my season isn't a throwaway. Like, I'm still 800 million, but
100,000.
it's basically 800 million right now. But like, if I was more in the fight up top, I think maybe only one or two differentials, play a little bit more safe. But right now, I'm like, let's find those diamonds in the rough that I've been calling out all freaking season, and I didn't get in because I'm like, well, like, I'm 400,000, like, I don't know, like, I'll go with a safer differential, or I'll bring in Holland rather than like somebody like, nah. Let's have fun with it. Let's do it.
Yeah, good luck to you. Shall we move on to my team?
Yeah, let's get to it.
And you see in front of you my team currently. I have Rashford there. And as I mentioned in the replacements of Grealish, like I said, I really don't like Grealish, but he was kind of forced down my throat. There's just not other options because I'm also having half an eye. As I mentioned in my tweet, I'm still in the overall cup. There is a slight potential I might win it. And I have a slight eye to that, but I decided to kind of play my own game until game week 34. If I'm still in the cup, I'm going to change that strategically. If you want to know what I mean, just go to my Twitter account. It's a thread that I talked about extensively, my thought process. So I'm probably going to just do Rashford to Grealish and Luke Shaw. If he's injured, Botman will come on. Haaland is automatic captaincy. Kane is my vice captain. The team stays as it is. I have a bit of benching headache with Odegaard, but I don't see anybody that I want to take out for Odegaard. So probably this is going to be the team I go for. Rashford for Grealish. That's it. Free transfer. Before this injury of Rashford, my transfer was Raya to Ederson. Again, I tweeted my plan for the next 4 game weeks. And it was Raya to Ederson, but I don't think he's worth a hit anymore this game week. I might do it after game week 33, after the free hit 32. But for now, it's just Rashford to Grealish.
Yeah. No, hey, I think that's fine. And yeah, definitely. Go play your game. If you're still in the cup in 34, finish it off and win it. Yeah. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. Once you start thinking it's a big deal, that's when you're going to psych yourself out and you're going to make like some stupid move, and then the guy you're playing against still took a negative 20 and like beat you. Like, just do it. And this is what I was talking about, of going for both. Okay, going for both rank and going for the cup. I'm like, go for the cup, and you're like, well, then I have to change up my strategy, which I understand. I completely get, but you've gotten this far not going for the cup. Just keep going for the cup the way you have been. So I like it. Keep that up. Grealish transfer in. Yeah, I think he's a perfectly fine transfer. I mean, he's doing well. If Grealish kept on that fight that he had at the beginning of the season, when he kept just like missing any ball Haaland played to him, he was Barnesing Haaland. Dude would be a monster if he just like figured out how to hit the goal.
I like that expression. Barnesing.
Yeah. That's what I'm here for. Americans love Americanisms. Like, I will make up every single Americanism you ever want. Give me a situation, I'll find something that works for it. But yeah, I mean, like, if he figured out how to not miss, dude would have been scoring as many points as Haaland this year. Kind of fell off a little bit. Now he's back into it. Now he's looking good. Great transfer. I like it. You know, I think there's moves for Odegaard, but that's also like moves that I would make to be, you know, have extra fun. There's no reason that you need to, like, you know, go out of your way to make a transfer. Yeah, just go and win the cup, and then laugh in everybody's face.
I hope so. I hope so. I'll play for the overall rank. And like you said, if I'm still in it in 34, because I'm kind of pessimistic about this game week. You can see your opponent's team, and my opponent's team is much more set up than I am for this game week, and it's not worth taking hits and trying to chase the cup, and then I lose the overall rank. Because again, in my tweet, I mentioned why I don't want to lose my overall rank. It's a special season for me. But yeah,
Yeah,
wish me luck.
yeah, you'll be fine. He's set up for this week as the template of this week. I'm not worried about it for you. It's fine. He's probably got Salah or something like that.
No, he doesn't, but he has the Arsenal kind of players over mine. He's much more set up. It's in the tweet. Like if you look at, for example, his goalkeeper is better than mine. So it's just on paper, the team looks better than mine this game week. So yeah.
Paper can light fire. All right, Doc. I'm
All
sorry.
right.
Your team looks good. You got this. Top 256 in the world. Let's get it.
Let's get it. So everybody, if you enjoyed this episode, give me your support in the comments as well so I can win this cup. It will be insane if I do. And if I don't, I really appreciate your support. So drop down the comment, good luck or something. I really appreciate it. Drop a thumbs up if you enjoyed this episode. Subscribe if you still haven't. And Joe, would you like to say goodbye to our audience?
Yeah, everybody, make sure to check in the comments. Maybe I'll give Doc all of the transfers he needs to make this week. That is, you know, the after show, the Patreon account. Yeah, I mean, go get it, Doc. Get these points, people, and let's get back to it and have fun.
All right, everybody. We'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.